Hey guys, you know what? Smartphones are getting so smart these days. I predict within about 5 years from now that we will have 360 cameras built into our smartphones. And this camera that I've got here, the Insta360 Nano, is the first step towards making that happen. So you may have heard of the Insta360 4K, which is an already existing 4K 360 camera. This is the smaller, cheaper version of their 360 technology. So this simply plugs into your iPhone. It's iPhone only at the moment. There is an Android version coming out very soon. So essentially how it works is it plugs directly into the bottom of your smartphone, obviously because there's no jack at the top. It's compatible with iPhone 6 and 6 Plus. Just goes into the lightning port there, and the camera actually has a lightning port of its own. So it just simply plugs in like that, and then you turn your phone upside down, and then you walk around and take photos and videos like this. So the Insta360 Nano is the cheapest 360 camera option at the moment. It's significantly cheaper than the next cheapest. So it's really good for entry-level photographers who don't want to invest too much but want to experiment with 360 and get a feel for whether they like it or not. I mean, obviously the quality is going to be a bit lower than some of the more expensive cameras, but you essentially get what you pay for. It's a very usable camera and a very worthwhile investment. So let's have a look at what it can do. The first thing to note is because the camera plugs into your iPhone here, most of your photos will have to be taken with the camera in your hand. It's hard to mount it to a tripod just because you can't really get a tripod plate attached to your iPhone. There are tripod adapters, but you'll have to look around and probably build something yourself. There's nothing yet that allows you to do that. I mean, look, for basic 360 photography, this isn't a huge issue at all because you're probably just walking around taking snaps on your phone anyway, so it makes things very easy. So you can actually use this camera without attaching to a smartphone. See, it's got the button there where you can record photo and video. However, your thumb has to go a little bit too close to the lens and it ends up looking a bit too distorted. When you've got a smartphone attached, your thumb is more down here, so it's less prominent in your final images. So the first thing that impressed me about this camera is that when I attach the camera to my phone, I've already got the app downloaded, it triggers the app to open automatically, which can be really handy when you're on the go and you don't have a lot of time to fiddle around with apps, fiddle around with Wi-Fi. It's very fast, and see, instantly I have a preview, a 360 preview seconds after plugging it in. One thing that I really like about this is the fact that the camera is attached to the iPhone means you have a really big screen in front of you to preview your images as you shoot. Some other cameras do have remote shooting, however, the quality just isn't as good. Preview quality isn't as good as what I'm seeing here. Because the camera is attached directly to the phone, it's able to process a high resolution preview for you to look at. So within the app, it's just as simple as pressing the button here to take a photo, and then we can switch to video mode. We hold it down and it records, I think, about up to 10 seconds. If you swipe up, you can release it and then it'll go on for as long as you like. I think the max is about 15 minutes. I wouldn't want to go much longer than that because I think the camera has been known to overheat, so I wouldn't push it really further than about 2 or 3 minutes myself. All right, so now let's have a quick look at the interface of the app. So if we just click our preview window down the bottom left, it takes us to our gallery, and there's the photo I just took, and I can look around it just by moving my thumb like that. That was easy. You can change perspectives, fisheye, little planet, and you can do some basic editing. It's hard to zoom in and out. It doesn't give you as much control as an app like Raw World or Theta Plus, but it's a good basic little preview editor. There's a couple of things you can do here: snapshot, retouch, drag, but I think I'd rather do that in another app. So what we do is, we've already downloaded from the camera, so what we'll do is we'll hit that button up there and we'll go click Panorama, which saves the image to our camera roll. Something worth noting is that if you go into settings and you hit Watermark there, you'll probably notice that by default the app adds in that black spot there just over where your hand is to cover up, I guess, the skewed hand, because it's hard for the camera to be able to record your hand correctly when it's so close to the camera. So it automatically puts that black spot to cover it up. I get rid of it just so it draws less attention to it. Some people have complained about watermarks, not being able to get rid of them. It's as simple as doing this. Just go to Watermark, remove it. So once you download your photos to your camera roll, you can then import them to editing apps like Roll World or Theta Plus and turn them into tiny planets. One thing I do find a little bit annoying is that with video, you're not able to do that with the same apps because they're just not able to process the video. I'm not sure why. I've found that they've crashed every time I've imported Insta360 Nano footage. So you may have to import your video footage to your computer and use Insta360 Studio if you want to create a tiny planet video from your Insta360 Nano footage. Okay, so here's a little something I prepared earlier. I shot this in Pitt Street Mall of Sydney, Australia. I've got my Insta360 Nano in my hands. And so what I've done here is I've downloaded the free Insta360 Studio app and I've imported the footage to my computer and then into the program. So what I'm going to do now is go recorder and I'll put a keyframe, go tiny planet. So let's have a look. It's very fast and easy to edit a tiny planet in Insta360 Studio. You can just move it around intuitively with your mouse. Just go for something basic like that, I think. And there I go. That's looking good very quickly and easily. And that quality is looking very decent. So now let's take a look at the difference between exporting a little planet from the app and exporting from Insta360 Studio. I think you'll notice here that it's pretty huge. The app version is looking quite pixelated. Even though it was convenient being able to edit a little planet straight there in the app, I found it totally worth the extra 10 minutes it took to import to my computer and export it full resolution and use the full data within the image to produce a much sharper overall tiny planet. Finally, something I really like about this camera is the interchangeable memory. As you can see, there's a micro SD slot. Some of the other cameras don't have that. They have built-in memory. This is really handy. And then it's got the charging port there. Charges really quickly and normally it'll last you a couple of hours if you go out shooting. I think it's 800 mAh battery. I haven't run out yet, but I charge them pretty frequently. Finally, it's worth noting the cool box that it came in. It's a VR viewer, so you can open it up and slot your phone into there, and then you can view it in virtual reality, which is pretty cool. Overall, I think this is a fantastic camera for its price, and it's the first step towards making 360 photo and video mainstream by incorporating it into our smartphones. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this review. Feel free to subscribe to us on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and all the others. I've got a book out, it's called Life in 360, A Beginner's Guide to Tiny Planet Photography. Feel free to check it out. Until next time, see ya.